Hello there and welcome back to Charming Raindrops. So this is my new Scribble and Dot journal, which I'm very excited about, and today I'm going to be setting up the first quarter. So I've done the beginning pages of the book. Now these are the pages that I'm going to do every quarter so I can keep an eye on things like goals and everything. The first thing I'm going to do though is I wanted to have a title page because I've got really into drawing. So I've decided to have a jungle title page on this one. I'm going to speed it up because you don't really want to see me draw it in real time. I did sketch it out before I started drawing, because once you've done it in pen and it goes wrong, then you're done for. I did get the idea of this off of Google. So, and then I put quarter one on it. So what I'm going to do also is I'm going to use some more of my cut out leaves, because I do like the sort of decoupage paper effect that I've got on my most pages of my journal. So I've stuck these down with a Pritt stick and then I just trim off the edges so that it hits the top of the page, and then I'm literally just going to colour in all the characters that are in and rub out all the pencil lines. And then that's the title page for this quarter. So for every quarter, as the same as the year, I have a word of the quarter, like I have a word of the year. Something I'm going to try and live by, try and get better at. So for this quarter it's confidence. What I did for this is that I got a font that I put out on Canva and then I've copied it across into my book. And I've just gone over that with a fine liner, and then I will rub out the pencil lines and colour it in at the end. But then I've got a definition off of Google. So basically I'm putting the definition of the word, both definitions, because there's two different definitions to confidence. And I know that this part of the year I really want to try and get a bit more confident. My confidence has been knocked recently, so I kind of want to get some of my confidence back and just feel good as being me, rather than having to feel like I have to be somebody else or hate being me. So I'm hoping that this is going to help me have a little bit of focus to it. I'm decided what I'm going to put underneath this time, because last time we had leaves and I don't really want to do leaves again. I also don't necessarily know what my goals are going to be this quarter. I'll probably have a look at that and try and build on it as I go. As I said, I've had my confidence knocked quite recently, so it's taken me time to work out what I want. But I also want to give this level 10 life thing a go. So I've done my spread for that. As I've done it in pencil first, I'm going to literally just go over it in pen and then fill it out. This is the first time I've really done level 10 life. I found it on YouTube. And I thought, hang on a minute, that's a really good thing. I'm sorry, it seems to be focusing on the end of my pen because it has writing on it. I will remember to try and not have the lid on the end. Next time you may find it may focus on that instead of the paper. So what I've done is I've got a series of boxes. So for each of these boxes there's 10. So it's almost going to be like a sideways bar graph. So you colour in the number of boxes depending on how well you think you're doing in each topic. I probably will do a separate video on this as well, because you could go into lots of different things on this. And I'm literally just doing it quickly. The reason I'm doing this page quarterly is that means every quarter I can go back and have a look at it and then reassess it and see what differences there are. You know, whether I feel like I'm doing better in some things, or, you know, whether there's things I need to build on. The chart underneath it is much more an interesting one, because I found this and it's a way of getting through to your goals. So the anagram is called savers. So each box for each. So you have an S box, an A box, a V box, an E, an R, and an S box. And it basically stands for silence, affirmation, visuals. I'm trying to think what the next one is. I had to wait for it to get there. Exercise, read, and scribble. So that's a good way of journaling what you're thinking. And I'm also going to put the numbers under the box. I'm not going to fill that bottom part in today, so that will be done on a separate video. But I just wanted to put it in there because it's going in the book right now. But I will come back and fill it in. But I probably will do it on camera at some point. I've been quite busy, so I haven't quite had as much time to do as much journaling as I would have hoped to. But, you know, life kind of goes like that. So then it's a case of doing the goal boxes. So I've got one goal box for every section, every part of my life that I want to do as my level 10 life. And the idea is when you get to 10, you should be not perfect, but you should be happy with where you are and what you're doing. But then I don't think I'll ever be happy, because there'll always be room for improvement, or I'll always feel like it's something I'm doing wrong. So, but at the end of the day, the whole point of this is to be moving in the right direction and not necessarily being perfect, because I am not perfect. And to be honest, not being perfect does get me into trouble, but I'm hoping that one day I might be able to put that behind me, make a change for the better, and hopefully find some success. But as I say, we're all learning in this game. So then I have 6 categories that I want to look at. So I need to put those 6 categories in the goals boxes, and also down the left hand side of my sideways bar chart. First thing I'm going to do is obviously rub out the pencil marks. I'm also going to colour in the tops of the boxes so that I can, just so that it gives it a little bit of colour, because none of my pages are looking boring, so I'm colouring in all of them at the moment. So I've chosen a few green. Oh no, let's colour in the words first. That's what I decided to do. I decided to colour in the words. So I have one side for where I feel I'm at, and then on the right hand side it's about how I think I'm going to get to the next point. So it's not a case of that will be my perfection point. It just means that means that I will hopefully have more I will be able to put more points in my level 10 life. So I've got 2 watercolour markers, which is part of the ones that I found that are like 20 years old, that ironically still work. I will be devastated when they stop working. And I'm going to use those just because they colour in boxes, but they don't cover over the writing, so you can still see what it all says, which is much better. So I've got that one, and then I've got a slightly darker one. Let's do 2 tones, but we're still going on the jungle theme, so it's still leafy greens. So the goal boxes, I'm going to have probably about 2 goals in each box for each topic, and it doesn't necessarily matter whether you hit all of them, but it's just a case of, showing that you're moving in the right direction. And that's what we all kind of want to do in life, is just move in the right direction, or at least feel we're moving in the right direction. For the ones on the right hand side, I decided to use a slightly different colour green because it's just slightly lighter. I'm not quite sure how the pen's going to show up on the right hand side, so I don't really want to. I kind of want to try and see if I can save anything if it needs saving, if possible. So now I'm going to be getting into what sections I want to have in my level 10 life. So I've decided that I want to look at my career, my business, but my YouTube, my separate hustle from going to work, my finances, my health, my mental health and well-being. That includes all the self-care stuff, and the environment that I live in, because I've not been a fan of my home for a while, and I think it's just a case of getting to where I want it to be. So I'm going to colour all these in. I had a thought about this before I started the video as to where I felt that they all were. So I've already started colouring those in, and so I'm giving them some fair points, but none of them are going to be high, because we're still at the beginning of this process, and there's a lot of things that need sorting, saving. I've tried to be really honest about this, because we don't want it to be a case of, there's no point in doing this if you're not going to be honest about what you think it is. My career is probably highest because I tend to put more effort into that than absolutely anything else, but I feel that might need to change because I need to have a better work-life balance, which we'll find out in a minute when we look at the goals. So each of those need to go on one of the boxes on the right hand side, and then I'm going to put 2 or 3 different goals in the boxes. I've tried to make them quite vague to a degree that I can try and hit them, and then I know what they mean, so basically I can do more with them if I want to do more with them. I don't necessarily feel like I need to go all out to say this is what I want, this is the target I want to hit. It's almost like if I get to the end of the quarter and I've made some progress towards these, then I will be happy with that. And then back to the cut out leaves again, which are going to turn up on every page. We know they're going to. So I'm literally just sticking them on with a Pritt stick, and then if there's any that hang over the bottom, then what I'll do is I will cut them off so that nothing's hanging outside of the book. But sometimes they look nicer when they're not all the bottoms of the leaves are not all on the bottom of the page. It sort of looks like they've grown up from underneath the page. And there we have it. So now I just need to chop the ends off. I will do the pantry checklist. That's also once a quarter, but that's going to be a much bigger job. So if you like what you see, then please feel free to like, subscribe, do all the YouTubey things, and hit the bell if you want to have future notifications from us. You can also find out more information on our website and on social media. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.